guys! The best part about my job is on-the-job learning. It can be scary, exciting, has been very expensive, or it sets a precedent on how I design moving forward, which is the best. One of my very first clients, when I started my company many years ago, we'll call him Peter. He was a bachelor and he was a very big art collector. He wanted nice things, but he was what some of us might call a klutz and was really scared to spend money knowing he might have to throw his furniture away because of his love of red wine. And even though we went through the traditional means of making his furniture what we thought was durable, it still didn't work. But we learned, or I learned. So now when I approach design, especially with clients that have pets or kids, or just love to entertain and have people over, I always say we're going to Peter-proof, because if I could keep this guy from ruining his furniture, then you've got nothing to worry about. Just because you have pets or kids or have a husband that spills, or you like to entertain, or you just want to live in your space, it doesn't mean that you can't have a house that looks like $1 million. There are so many ways to cheat the system. Here are my top 4 tricks that I love to implement with my clients. Number 1, it might be a no-brainer if you're thinking about having kids or you have young kids. You automatically think you have to baby-proof, which tends to be an eyesore a lot of the times, or you don't want to invest in furniture pieces because you think they're going to get ruined, which is fair. This tip might be a little controversial, but I do approach it with all my designs. Obviously, rounded edge furniture is a go from the get-go. Otherwise, using those bumpers to cover both the corners and the edges, it's important sometimes. But I'm personally of the camp that never really baby-proofed the house in the traditional sense, except for 2 places, the snack drawer from my husband and the coffee table I felt Max would lose an eye on. But other than that, even though everything is essentially able to take the wear and tear of a baby or a grown man baby, we designated rooms in the home that were either child and baby specific and others that were for adults. That's not to say the rooms are off limit. Kids, as they get older, they'll gravitate to the rooms they know they're allowed to be in. Plus, generally, those have all the toys. That being said, I know not all kids listen, especially my own, and it happens to always be when they have runny popsicles or like electric blue candy. And it's like every time when they have that, they don't listen. So what do you do when they just can't live in one room? Number 2. This is the meat and potatoes of designing with kids and pets in mind. I mean, just because you have them doesn't mean you can't have that sexy white classic sofa. Years ago, if you'd say performance fabric, designers would go, they were gross and they were stiff and didn't have great patterns. But now they make such classy ones, you'd never know the difference between what's high performance that can live outdoors and weather a storm, and those that are specific for indoors and a little bit more delicate. In fact, because I Peter-proof all my homes, almost all the fabrics I use are performance fabrics all around. They're generally made from polyester or nylon, and they can look like linen or chenille or velvets. Sometimes, and this is my favorite part, you can literally write on them with a Sharpie and they will come out with soap and water. So what does that mean for you when you're designing your space? Think about these applications. 1, fade-proof curtains. They don't get damaged by UV rays and they don't, lose their color. Spill-proof seating, ottomans for putting your feet on or using as a TV tray or a playground. I actually love using it on upholstered beds. You wash your sheets, so why not wash your headboards? And for those that don't want to compromise on their favorite fabrics, I encourage every single client to stain treat. Scotchgard makes one you can do yourself, or you can get a professional to come in and hose down all your upholstery, and I recommend doing that every 6 months. Number 3, rugs are inevitably a major player in this bill game. I have clients that ask me a lot about whether they should invest in these pieces or just get something cheap because they know they're gonna have to throw it away because of sticky fingers and dog hair and all the other things that comes with pets. Well, I recommend 2 ways to approach that. Number 1, if you want to stay natural, it's wool rugs all the way, 100%. It's durable, repellent, it's insulating, it's cozy, it cleans and wears very well. I would stay away from anything that's viscose. Sometimes it stains with even just water. But as much as I like to stay as natural and sort of eco-friendly as possible, sometimes clients, they weren't having these synthetic rugs, and that would be my second option. Quality has improved over the years, so they can actually mimic natural fibers like silk, and obviously without all of that hassle having to clean them. Many were also originally made for outdoor use, so you can never have to worry about anything like humidity or wine or pee or anything else from ruining it. Some do have a hefty price tag, but again, that's the longer you have it, it's more sustainable. You're not replacing and throwing things out, and it's gonna last a lifetime. Number 4, and my final tip. Don't forget about the walls. There is nothing worse than seeing sticky handprints on walls or on doors. Eggshell finish for practical purposes is arguably the most durable. Paint takes about 28 days to cure, and after that you should have no problems taking a wet cloth, a little bit of soap and water, and just wiping it away. They also make wipeable type specific paints. You can also look out for those. But I am actually a freak about wallpaper. I love it everywhere. So in high traffic areas, I actually use vinyl, and they've come out with the most incredible types of vinyl wallpapers that mimic things like natural grasses, like seagrasses, or beading, glass, shells. I mean, it's super durable, super fun. You can wipe it down. You can still have this fun, glamorous moments, and you don't have to worry about those sticky little fingers. So to recap, I'm gonna use one of our projects in Tribeca at NYC. They had 3 kids and a love of entertaining. So we chose furniture that was really well made and durable because they love jumping on it. Rounded edged furniture for the most part. I used performance fabrics on the velvet here on the chairs, as well as stain treated every other piece of furniture on there. There was mohair on the sofa, which is super durable, plus a stain treatment. And the floors, we actually used this amazing rug, a print from Kit Miles from Mui, made of polyamide, which is actually a nylon, originally designed to mimic silk, so it has a soft sheen and feel to it. And the walls here we covered in a subtle striated pattern vinyl to look like soft paint brushstrokes to add a hint of dimension to what would have otherwise been just super flat walls visually. I'd argue that you would never know children lived here and that they were allowed to jump on the furniture and eat in this living room.